Hi, so I'm Amanda Warburton from the Cambridgeshire and Peterborough Domestic Abuse and Sexual Violence Partnership, and I'm making this short video with my colleagues to talk about some work that's being done with the Domestic Abuse Partnership and with Cambridgeshire County Council around supporting carers who are subjected to domestic abuse. So I'm just going to introduce my colleagues.
I'm Graham Lewis. I'm a Partnership Development Manager for Healthwatch, Cambridgeshire and Peterborough.
I'm Laura Green. I'm Service Manager and Strategic Lead for Carers with Cambridgeshire County Council Adult Social Care.
Thank you. So Graham is going to talk first about some of the issues that carers can come across when they're experiencing domestic abuse.
Our Healthwatch supports the Adult Social Care Carers Partnership Board, where we have the voice of lived experience of carers and organisations that provide support and statutory services. And so we talked about this and supported some working groups that Amanda set up. And as the things that carers told us was that it's a complex emotion because you love the person that you care for, whether it be your partner, a child, parent, neighbour around the corner. You have a love for them, a care for them, but you're hating the behaviour that they're doing. But that there's also, within domestic abuse, it's a very complex set of feelings because there's guilt, shame that it's happening, a feeling of responsibility that somehow it's your fault that they are being abusive towards you, being a sense of failure. Obviously these are feelings that people have, and that's why I say it's very complex. People also worry about other dependents, if they have children, if they've got pets. You know, they may be dependent on their cared for financially. They may worry about where they would go on to live. Some of the practicalities there. And whilst we would say, yes, speak up, tell, etc., they will also have a deep desire to make sure that they're cared for is properly cared for and supported if they leave the home, or if they're cared for leaves the home. Where will they go? Will they get the support and care that they need? Because it's all tied up in a big sense of emotions and practicalities and wanting to do the right thing. And I know Amanda will talk about how long it takes to actually speak up about being abused and why there's those complex emotions. But those are the things that people told us about when we were working on this project.
Thank you. Yeah, as Graham says, it is an extremely complex issue. And in general with survivors of domestic abuse, they very often don't speak up about it, don't seek support for quite some time, and that can go into years. And even when they do first seek support, they may sort of pull back on that for a little while before they then feel that they're able to sort of go forward and get help that they need. And with a caring relationship, that can be even more difficult, and that can make somebody even more hesitant about why they might want to seek support. So the work that we've been doing on this project was first highlighted to us in some local domestic homicide reviews that involved caring relationships. And around the same time we were contacted by some local care support organisations who were noticing an increase in carers that were reporting to them that they were experiencing domestic abuse. So this highlighted to us a bit of a gap in services. So the Domestic Abuse and Sexual Violence Partnership set up a multi-agency project. Graham was involved from Healthwatch for the Carers Partnership Board. There was also other colleagues across various organisations. And we decided that probably the first thing we needed to do was raise some awareness of the complexities that Graham's just spoken about. So we developed some professional guidelines and also some online awareness sessions that were delivered to partners across adult social care and health, and we also delivered them to Cambridgeshire Police as well. And we've also been working on trying to identify best practice, particularly around the issues around safety planning for carers who are being abused, because that would need to be look very different to situations where there's not a caring relationship. So the domestic homicide review recommendations involving carers have included, one in particular was around including domestic abuse in the all-age carers strategy that sits across Cambridgeshire, and also in some recommendations around exploring the role that carer support organisations can play in supporting carers who are subjected to domestic abuse. So at that stage of the project, we then liaise with colleagues in adult social care and adult commissioning at Cambridgeshire County Council, which is where my colleague Laura's expertise came in.
Thanks very much, Amanda. So I think Graham's really outlined for us the feedback that we were getting from carers with lived experience of domestic abuse and some of the challenges being faced, and Amanda's explained how the information we got via the domestic homicide reviews, the feedback from partners, the own experience of our practitioners working within operational adult social care teams was highlighting the need that we really support unpaid carers who are experiencing domestic abuse, and we recognised that it was really important to have a specific strategic intention within our carers strategy, which we were working with partners to co-produce. Within that strategy, we've recognised 7 key intentions, and those will very much overlap. So if we're successful in some areas, we will also improve support in other areas. So those intentions are that we reach and support more young carers, that we improve transitions for young carers approaching adulthood and moving into adulthood, that we reach and support parent carers, that we support the emotional and psychological well-being of carers, which very much chimes with the feedback that Graham and Amanda have been sharing with us, that we improve our joint work across health and social care, so it's obviously really important that our whole staff group are prepared and able to respond in the event that a carer reaches out for some support, that we're ensuring easy access to information for our carers, and of course the reason that we're here talking today is that we provide support to carers who are at risk of domestic abuse. At the specific intention to support carers experiencing domestic abuse obviously links in very effectively with our aim to improve information to carers, and we're really pleased that we've managed to secure some funding via the accelerating refund monies, which we're actually using to develop our digital platforms to provide better information to carers. We've also got some exciting projects in the pipeline to deliver carer training. So again, if we use those opportunities to raise awareness of the issue, we're hoping that more carers will become aware that there are opportunities for them to seek support and avenues for them to do that to make it much easier. We've also recognised that with this very important issue, it's important to embed that within our commissioning strategies. So we're actually out to re-tender currently with our carer provider service, and again that's been very much embedded that our preferred provider will be delivering training, will be raising awareness, will be reaching out to carers, so that more and more of our caring community are aware of the support out there of the issue, and again able to have those easy routes into access help. Amanda alluded as well to one of the challenges when we're supporting carers. All local authorities will have arrangements in place around safeguarding, and like many others, Cambridgeshire has a multi-agency safeguarding hub which will deal with referrals in relation to adults with care and support needs, or who may have care and support needs and need support to maximise their safety. But I think historically, where perhaps an unpaid carer hasn't had needs for care and support in their own right, they haven't always been able to access help through that route. And as a result of the work that's gone on with our colleagues, we've actually reviewed our thresholds, and we're at the very early stages of implementing these changes, but we have now introduced a discretion so that our MASH team can actually enable discretionary Section 42 safeguard inquiries to happen for unpaid carers, and that just means that carers will be able to access the support in terms of the making safeguarding approach that may well benefit and help to improve their safety. Obviously within that we very much recognise the points that Graham made, that this is all about putting the carer at the heart of the process, very much listening to what they want to happen, thinking about minimising risk and really trying to get that right help at the right time in the right place approach. Overall, our intention is to, through our carer strategy refresh and our intentions to improve the well-being of carers, and we really hope that this strategic intention will come together with our other intentions and the broader and ever ongoing work to support carers to improve well-being. We're certainly on a journey of learning how we can do that through our consultations, our involvements, our co-production with carers and our partners. We really look forward to sharing those experiences with other colleagues through the ADAS network, and we're also really keen to learn from other local authorities and areas about initiatives that they're taking and ways that we can improve that support.
So just to finish up really, we're hoping as part of this work to develop some resources for carers as well, things that they can sort of use for signposting and access routes into specialist support for them. And just wanted to go back to Graham really to sort of hear a bit about the impact that this project is hopefully going to have on carers who are experiencing domestic abuse.
Thank you. I think what you've outlined of the process and the journey we've been on and what has been put into place already and what is being developed, one of the things that we know is that if it's not talked about at all, people will not talk about it themselves. So if they're seeing it in a carers magazine, support being offered through that, if they're hearing about it at carers events, when they're having their carers review, if these things are mentioned, and the fact that it's made quite clear that abuse is not acceptable, and things like that, and make it more likely that they will speak up, and also with all the training and support for the organisations and within the statutory services, making sure that when a member of staff hears a person saying what's been going on, they immediately will put all the right things in place in negotiation with the carer, because they are at the heart of all of this conversation. It's about what they want to do. They may only just be naming it and not actually have a thought about next steps, and they may want to spend some time thinking about that before they do anything else, and all those technicalities and things that most of us don't understand because we've not been in that situation. But actually, this allows the carer to work out what's right for them, what they need to do going forward, and know that they are going to be heard, are going to be listened to, and are going to be supported, whatever the decisions are, and all the things done to make them safe, others in their households, they're cared for, etc., all to be safe, well supported and cared for properly.